everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It's a fresh start throughout the league here in Week 1 as these two teams have high hopes for the season ahead. It's the Panthers going up against the Broncos. With that, I'm proud to introduce our new Madden broadcast team for 2016. Making their regular season debut, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, we are at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, as you get a look at Sports Authority Field at Mile High. Tonight, we kick off a new NFL season with the opener for 2016 between the Carolina Panthers and the Denver Broncos. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's not going anywhere to start the night. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Kelvin Benjamin has to be a feature of this offense that's on your screen now.
Definitely a #1 receiver, a huge target with some speed. It's almost like go-go gadget when he goes up to get the football. No matter how you defend him, he can go just a little bit higher.
It's complete right side to Benjamin. Touchdown, Carolina. Kelvin Benjamin, 74 yards. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead. Well, that's how they envisioned to get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Set, green, 39.
Now Lynch on first down. A dump off to Anderson. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Here's the offense, and you got to talk about the guy that they nicknamed Bebe, Charles Demaryius Thomas.
You worry about him catching the ball, but you worry more about what he does after the catch. Big, strong, physical. He makes plays downfield.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well, and most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know exactly why. They got the look that they were seeking, and they were able to take advantage of it.
And the D looking like they may blitz.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now a carry, it's C.J. Anderson. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
C.J. Anderson may not be a Pro Bowl runner, but he knows how to run big in big games.
Yeah, he sort of sealed the Super Bowl for them in the 4th quarter. Big game against the Patriots last year on a Monday night, but only 720 yards all told in 2015. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
Let's see if they can convert here on 3rd and 3. Lynch now throwing on 3rd. And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body.
He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And a look now at how the Broncos line up defensively.
Von Miller is so good that he doesn't even need a nickname. His ability to bend and dip on the pass rush, unequaled in this league.
From his goal line here, Newton. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
5 yards left for the offense. It's 2nd down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Newton now to throw. It's complete to Chris Conley. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. On 1st down, Newton. Dancing to his left. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Oh, my Cam. There's times when I'm not analyzing up here. I'm just appreciating. Led NFL quarterbacks in rushing last year. He is truly the ultimate weapon at that position.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the... Now in his 9th year, here's Jonathan Stewart. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Have they come up with a nickname for just Jonathan Stewart? Remember when it was double trouble when he was running with D'Angelo Williams in Carolina? But boy, what a year he had in 2015.
Yeah, it was just 11 yards shy of 1,000, so close, but kind of stepped out of that shadow, didn't he?
Certainly did, and gave the Panthers a real identity running the ball.
Well, good luck there as a ball carrier. You get handed that football, look up, oh, there's a big D tackle ready to swallow you whole for a loss.
Yeah, you kind of count on your guys to give you at least a little bit of time, a little bit of space to try and maneuver, but not on that one. And when you have a defensive tackle who is that strong, that agile, he's a lot to deal with. Sometimes you have to double him, and sometimes you're not able to block him no matter who's trying.
Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. 3rd down. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often. Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in. He'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. And now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover? The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before. I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad. I like that even better. And while they hope to continue this drive, it's really already mission accomplished. They've given enough space now that they have to pump the ball. They've done so with that first run. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And cuts out right sideline. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game. That throw good for 4. It's second down. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage. 6 yards to go here on second down.
4 down. All right, here we go.
Now Mostert. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. That was a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got. Thomas, the lone receiver, left. They go play action here on first down. Deep drop. Looking for Sanders here on the deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he is down deep into Carolina territory. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed. And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well. Showed it right there. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. They come out here in the eye. And they're definitely showing blitz here. Now it's Lynch. That is caught at the 7. It's a 14-yard pickup, but it'll still be second down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it? It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed.
All right, here we go.
But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw. Now from back at the 5, this is 3rd and goal. They come up in an offset eye. So now 3rd and goal. Will the defense bring some extra pressure here? No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave them with a 4th and goal. So on 4th down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And McManus able to put it through. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So they started that drive from the shadows of their own end zone all the way back at the 2, and they're able to get 3 out of it. And you know, shadows tend to scare people, right? Not in this case. This offense was not jumpy at all, handled it very well, put themselves into a position to score. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Now Newton steps away to his left. Give him 22 on that one. And that leads to a Carolina first down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. One receiver left, 3 to the right. Now Newton on first down. It's complete right side to Benjamin. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On first and 10, Newton. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Aqib Talib. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Now Lynch. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And where the ball is now, you got the field goal pretty much in the bag. Now do you try for the end zone a couple of times?
I don't think there's any question about it. You might get a gift of 6 points rather than the 3 that you just noted that you feel.
Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Chris Conley, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Now Graham Gano to try the Panther field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So a bullet dodge there defensively. They surrender excellent field position on the kick return, but it winds up not costing them a thing.
And that's a tough sequence of events from an offensive perspective. The inability to get first downs leads to the field goal try. And the inability to cash that in leads to nothing on the scoreboard.
They go back to the air here after the INT. Looking deep for Demarius. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Final play of the half. It's Lynch. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback, so a first chance here in week 1 to see the ball be brought out with the new rule to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Here's Lynch. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. They come out here in the eye. On second down, Lynch. Left side here to Sanders. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
No matter how you evaluate quarterbacks, at some point arm strength is going to come into the conversation. I'm really impressed by what I saw on that throw on the out route.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Thomas, the lone receiver, left. Here's Lynch to throw, and he fires one incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver, and it's second down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. This is Mostert. They find some open field here. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Call it a gain of 13 yards on the play. And it'll be second down.
Really tough drive, but that run helped salvage something there because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back. And now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense. They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Now Lynch to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Darren Waller, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Broncos have taken the lead. And he's got it as the lead is now 10-6. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And a big face mask penalty here, 15 yards.
You never want to get your hands up in the face mask area because your fingers can get tangled up there, and that can hurt you as a player.
They go play action here on first down. He's got time in the pocket. Looking deep downfield. And this is taken in at the 5. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Panthers are going to jump back in front. And he atones for his miss the first time around as this one is up and good to extend their lead. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And coming out now, the Broncos. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And the offense still has a couple plays to go to pick up the first on 2nd down and 3.
Here we go now. Leopard. Leopard. All right, now look at 56. Look at. Here we go now.
Lynch looking to throw on 2nd. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Call it a gain of 3. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
So here we go, a 3rd down after the 2nd down pass completion.
Let's go.
Now the defense definitely showing blitz here.
Let's go. Green 39.
Now they'll run it on the toss. There he goes left side. And all the way home for the Broncos score. A big play there. 65 yards. And the Broncos have once again taken the lead. And a nice little start to the career for the rookie here, hitting the end zone in week 1 of his career.
And that's a true welcome to the NFL moment, isn't it? The one that you actually like. A lot of times it's that big hit from a linebacker that says, all right, Rook, here you are. But when you're able to put it in the end zone and feel that sense of accomplishment, that usually fuels you towards doing it many more times in your career.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Carolina getting set to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
To throw is Newton. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. It's a pickup of 14 there, and it'll be a Carolina first. So the offense has it 1st and 10.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he? They'll come out in the pistol. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Stays on his feet. A strong running. And he'll get get this out past the 45 to the 47. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put them.
Greg Olsen, nobody ahead of him. Touchdown, Carolina. Greg Olsen, 52 yards. And the Panthers have taken the lead here in the 4th. And how about that, giving us our 5th lead change of the game? It's been back and forth.
No doubt about it, and right now, they're ahead, but they can't relax at all because if we've had 5 lead changes, I'm kind of betting on a 6th.
Yeah, we might see a 6th. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard. But that certainly felt like an example of a defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game, they want to keep it going.
And now Lynch looking left side and completing it to Thomas. A good pickup there of 20 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Now Lynch on 1st down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the 4th quarter, and they got a big one.
Yeah, such a close game, a very big one. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The 3-time All-Pro, Luke Kuechly, in there to drop him with his first sack of 2016. Second down, sack by the defense. What type of pressure will they bring here on 3rd? We'll see. Now Paxton Lynch on 3rd and long. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Here we go. Lynch on 4th down. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Gary Kubiak's guys denied on 4th down. In there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. They come out here in the eye. Now they'll run it on the taunts. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. 2nd down, offense behind the sticks here. 2nd and 13. To throw on 2nd down. Oh, no, he lost the football.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now a play fake, and it's Newton. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him, it leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there. That's winning football.
And Gano's kick is right through. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
They come up in an offset eye. Mostert. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
Back to throw. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Back to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Here we go now.
They'll look to throw. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Detroit! Detroit! Back line it up, Philly. Here we go.
He'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
On the crossing route, he hits Demaryius Thomas. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. He's back to throw. Sanders has it over the middle. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Here's Lynch. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off here by C.O. Moore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Newton's going to throw it. Conley's got it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 34 yards. that leads to a Carolina first down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Y'all never played fair, so tell me why now should we care? Queen Bee told y'all a long time ago that we run the atmosphere. Did we build that? Yeah. Do we own that? Yeah. We even in the studios running playback. Shout out to Airman Sally, the young guards, to all the G's like us. Yeah, we go hard. See, this is how it feel to be a champion. We might fall down, but we never run. You wouldn't need it if you knew what we overcome. Do you know all the we gotta overcome? But they ain't stopping nothing. Me and my girls on top, straight stunting. And we abide by a real strict code. Hands off my ex and homies over.
If you try to shut us down, we'll show you just how we get down. And just to even up the score.
for the young guard. To all the girls like us, yeah, we go hard. See, this is how it feel to be a champion. We might fall down, but we never run. So proud of them that we overcome. Do you know we got overcome? We bow down to none. I wanna hail out all my day ones. Time really does fly when you're having fun, but the party don't stop till we staring down the sun.
You try to shut us down. We'll show you just how we get down. And just to even up the score, we're coming kicking down your door. If you try to shut us down, we'll show you just how we get down. And just to even up the score, we're coming kicking down your door. Kick it! Kick it! If you try to shut us down, we'll show you just how we get down. And just to even up the score, we're coming kicking down your door. If you try to shut us down, we'll show you just how we get down. And just to even up the score, we're coming kicking down your door.
Turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up. I'm breaking in. I'm at the pearly gates, but they won't let it in. I told the devil, I said, I ain't trying to sin, yeah. No, I ain't trying to sin, yeah. Pray to the Lord, Daddy, let me in. I'm breaking in. I'm breaking in. I'm breaking in. I'm breaking in. I'm at the pearly gates, but they won't let it in. I told the devil, I said, I ain't trying to sin, yeah. No, I ain't trying to sin, yeah. Pray to the Lord, Daddy, let me in. Daddy, let me in. If not, I'm breaking in. I'm breaking in. I'm breaking in. Break